Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing the Invetero Coquette D5 based on the Chevrolet Corvette C6, produced between 2005 and 2013. It's in the sports class and costs 1.7 million. So starting off with exhausts, it was a bit difficult to choose a good exhaust. I wasn't sure which one would look best on it. Obviously the one with the four pipes, those options look pretty good, but I wasn't exactly sure which ones were the best in my opinion, if they were the stock ones or the ones that were kind of curved. I was kind of tied between the stock ones and like the curved ones. I wasn't quite sure like which ones would fit it the most or which one is closest to the real one. I might change it after recording, but I shall see. The grow options are alright. They're mostly similar to mimic the first Corvette C1. Very first Corvette to come out, these grow options kind of mimic it, but in my opinion, they really don't look good on the car, on the D5. The HUD options give you secondary and carbon for most of the options. They look alright. I'm personally just gonna leave it stock. You know, why not make it look like a base model Corvette C6 from the era, just for fun. Speaking of that, I might make another video on this car to make kind of like a race build. I'm sure Chevrolet did something like that back in the 2000s with a Corvette, make it like a race car. I'm not sure what they call it, like a DTM or a specific type of competition. And the liveries are pretty good. Again, I'm not the type of person to choose liveries, as I said before in my previous videos, but these are pretty well done. Of course, you got the traditional stripes, double stripes. And this option looks pretty funny to me because like a lot of people do like a stripe on the fender. I've seen that before on Corvettes and Camaros. And all the other options are pretty good as well. For the mirrors, I just leave it stock because I don't want to go too crazy. And the diffusers, well, this one was kind of a tricky one. I did some research on this car, and I don't think that it had like any extra diffuser extensions, especially for the base model, which I'm kind of trying to recreate here. You know, because I feel like it looks the cleanest, but obviously it doesn't really translate to speed. The color was a bit difficult. There was like a special type of orange bronze kind of color that was offered on this Corvette. I don't quite recall a color name, but I might just put like a quick name of it on the screen for you. It was, yeah, like kind of like a sunrise orange, but there was a bit more to it, a bit of bronzeness. I don't know, but I might just make it like a flat yellow for now. Of course, it looks good in other color options. It's a bit uncanny that it has the headlights from the facelifted Honda NSX from the 90s. It's pretty weird that they chose those headlights, as well as the taillights from the GTR that was discontinued recently. But it does work in the rear. You kind of forget that it looks exactly like the GTR. But yeah, I would just leave it for a regular yellow at the moment. It's really unfortunate that the roof cannot be changed. Like you're forced to have it in black. I'm sure if you've seen other videos where people have gotten this car early, everyone was pretty disappointed to find out that you cannot make any changes to the roof, any carbon, any secondary or primary. I would have loved to make it match all yellow, but unfortunately I'm just gonna have to keep it like that. The skirts, I'm just gonna leave it be. The splitter options are pretty good if you want to go for something custom and aftermarket, which I'm sure that most of you will. I want to go for something more subtle, like just keep it plastic. If the real one doesn't have the extended splitter in the front, I may or may not remove it. I don't know. I like to get as close as possible to the real car. It's just kind of me. You know, I'm kind of weird like that. But and the spoilers are pretty good, very realistic to what people would do to it in real life. It does remove the third brake light, but it does not work actually. After making the video, I unfortunately found out that the lights in the back don't really work. I mean, except the regular four lights, but the third brake light and the reflectors in the bottom, they kind of act like as a light for some reason. Like it's strange, but whatever. And for the suspension, this is one of those cars where we actually have to put it low, like the lowest setting or the second lowest setting. I'm rarely the type of guy that just lowers a car because like it's already low enough, and if I put any more lower, it's just gonna look really weird. But for this car, I have to. And for the wheels, the stock ones look pretty good. They look very similar to the real life C6. But I'll go through the wheel category to kind of give you more of an option or a look on how these look on the car. To give you a rough idea if you haven't customized this car yet. There is like a similar wheel to the ZR1, so you could kind of mimic that. It's the Ice Storm wheels. I might make like a second or third build to try to mimic it, but since it's really missing a few options to make it similar, it's just gonna look mostly like a base Corvette, but with different wheels. And of course, I usually do the light smoke tint. The texture quality and detail are acceptable. I mean, it's not really the best for the interior or the engine model is alright, but I feel like it could be a bit better for a newer DLC car. The outer shell or like the whole car just looks really good. The exterior of the vehicle just looks really good. The interior is reused from a few other cars, and it has the orange stitching forced on. You cannot remove it if that really bothers you. But the rest of the car mimics the C6 very well. Minus interior and the slight low quality in the engine model. It fits a car pretty well. And it's cool that it has like a third brake light design. It unfortunately does not work though. The performance and its handling feels decent. I feel like it could have been better. Like if I could have gotten like more of a response. But this car is very light. It doesn't really spin out unless like you kind of clip into a few cars or like you accidentally miscalculate a turn or something. But other than that, like it does a good job around the corners. So no worries there. During this recording, I made the mistake of playing in like a regular public lobby. and almost got blown up. So I'll try not to make that mistake. I usually make my reviews in invite only sessions, or I try to, because like sometimes I forget. It doesn't really matter. And as I've said earlier, the third brake light kind of glows like it doesn't work. There are a few vehicles that have this issue, and it's unfortunate because like it's like a cool detail that most of the cars in GTA do not have. And I know I sound like a weirdo rambling about it, but it just adds more realism to the cars having the third brake light, and it's a shame that it doesn't work. Um, and the reflectors in the bottom, well, they kind of glow it, and they look like they're lighting up when you turn on the car at night. But of course, with the reflectors, they're not supposed to really act like a light. I mean, kind of, but not really. I know that in GTA 6, all these cars will be blown out of the water compared to what is offered in GTA 5 currently. So most of the cars in GTA Online are mostly kind of like just placeholders or not the final products of what will be in GTA 6. So I already know for a fact that this car is gonna be way better in a few months when we get it.